This episode of the 12 Hike Podcast is brought to you by TTI Blakemore, makers of the RoadRunner Jig head. Listen, if you've heard any of our Fat Guy in a Little Boat episodes, it's no secret that I think the RoadRunner Jig is the most effective lure you can have in your tackle box. It catches every species of fish in nearly every fishing environment. Its patented shape and underspin blade create a flash and vibration that fish cannot resist. TTI can also hook you up with premium bass, catfish, panfish, and drop shot hooks from Daiichi. I don't know if you noticed, but I threw a little pun in there. It was pretty good, I thought. TTI has you covered in everything from crappie and panfish to saltwater fishing and everything in between. Visit their website, ttibblakemore.com, to see a full-line catalog of their premium fishing lures, hooks, and fishing tackle kits. We're going to be doing 5, yeah, you heard me right, 5 TTI Blakemore lure kit giveaways. Be sure to visit our Facebook page, 12 Hike, to get more information on how you can be entered to win. Welcome to the 12 Hike Podcast, where we talk about all the ways you can get outdoors. I'm Zach Jenkins, and thanks for listening. I'm super excited for today's guest. It's Ron Stalling. He's from TTI Blakemore, so I got to talk to one of my heroes, kind of in a sense. It's the lure manufacturer that makes the RoadRunner Jig, my favorite lure of all time. We talk about growing up fishing, what makes a RoadRunner so effective, and some of the easiest and best tactics to use while you're using the RoadRunner. So there's another guy. He's my co-host, anchor for the podcast. He's going to be on mute for a minute.
Okay.
His wife is working from home, making some phone calls.
I understand. Mine is too.
And then in the background, you may hear my son kind of chit-chatting a little bit. He's playing Minecraft, but he's doing pretty good right now.
Cool.
Okay, so, Ron, I feel like I'm talking to, like, one of my heroes right now. Because I absolutely love the RoadRunner Jig head. It's my favorite all-time lure, so I may fanboy out a little bit, but you just got to bear with it, because it's going to happen.
Okay, that's cool.
So, I guess, give a little bit of your background. Is TTI Blakemore, is it based in Alabama?
Yes, it is. Wetumpka, Alabama. Yes, it is.
Were you born and raised in Alabama?
No, I was actually born and raised in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, boy. Well, you made a good move then. Get the heck out of Florida.
Well, I got out of there when I was 18 years old and did 11 years in the Air Force. And after I left there, I came back to Orlando. I actually grew up in a tackle store in Orlando for 29 years. And I started working as a fishing tackle guy when I was 7 years old, and along with my brother and my mom and my dad. And we were one of the most prominent tackle stores in Florida. So I learned how to build rods, fix trolling motors, went to Shimano and learned how to be a warranty tech and Penn and Abu Garcia, and worked on a lot of rods and reels, tied my own jigs, poured my own worms. So I've been doing this a long time. And when I got out of the military, I went back to the store, worked at the shop, and ran the store. And then I moved down to Fort Myers with my ex-wife, my wife at the time. And I worked at a tackle store down there and opened up a rod reel repair business down on Sanibel Island, and worked there for 3 years. And then my ex-wife got a promotion to go back to Orlando, so I went back to Orlando and wound up working as a fishing manager for Bass Pro Shop in Orlando. And my brother was working up here at TTI at the time, and he worked here for, I think it was 22 or 23 years. I had a back injury, and it was just hard for me to walk around Bass Pro Shop, and I just wound up having to leave there. Basically, my brother said, "Hey, why don't you come up here and check this out?" And I came up here and checked it out, and they hired me. And we were, back then it was just True Turn hooks and Daiichi hooks and X-Point hooks. And when I came on board, it was right at the time that we were purchasing Blakemore. So I came on at the time Blakemore became part of TTI Blakemore, and we wound up making 3 more brands of hooks. So we got 6 hook brands and all the RoadRunners, Real Magic, rod floaters, brush grippers, all kinds of neat stuff. So I'm pretty blessed, man. I mean, I've been very blessed over the years in my career in the fishing industry, and I enjoy it, man. I love coming to work. I love doing what I do, and I'm kind of like you, man. I've loved RoadRunner since I was a kid. And just to be able to sit back and design these things and design hooks and packaging and promotional displays and stuff, it's a dream come true.
Yeah, and I can't speak for Sean, but I can speak for myself. The career you've had in fishing is like a dream for me. I mean, to work in your own tackle business, in a family-run tackle business, and then just work your way up through the ranks to where you are now. That's something to dream about.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man. I mean, we've always had our trials and tribulations in the fishing industry, and the one thing that always stays constant is the people. The people are always dedicated, always there. They're fun to be around. They're good folks. Now, you always got your 0.5% or 1% that aren't that great to be around, but in any industry, doesn't matter what it is. But this industry is a great industry. I mean, always welcome with open arms, no matter where you went, no matter your age, male, female, color, race, religion. It doesn't matter. The fishing industry is come one, come all type thing, and it's a blessing to actually be a part of this industry and be a part of such a wonderful company. I'm working on my 17th year being here, and just a great place, man. Just a wonderful place.
Yeah, as far as TTI goes, did they start off as like a small independent company? What are their beginnings?
Well, their beginnings are right down the street here in Montgomery, Alabama. John Campbell, the inventor of the true turn hook, and he was also a World War II veteran and a retired master sergeant in the Air Force. He always fished. He always tinkered around with fishing tackle and whatnot. And one day he was sitting at his desk out here at the Air Force base here in Montgomery, and he was working in the old IBM computer card days, punch cards. And he was trying to figure out a way to separate these cards faster. And he bent a paper clip and was touching this paper clip while he was sitting on the phone talking to one of the generals. And when he was touching that paper clip, he noticed it turned. He said, well, man, I need to do that to one of my hooks at the house. So he went to the house, and after he got off duty, and took a acetylene torch and basically heated up one of his favorite hooks and bent it and had this crazy cam action. And he started making all these hooks for, people that were on the base, all the generals and all the colonels and all the master sergeants and all the NCOs and officers out there that loved to fish. He made these hooks for them, and it blew up from there. And that's where True Turn came from. And that's our parent company, True Turn Incorporated. That's what TTI stands for. Once TTI or True Turn got on board over the years, back in the basically in the late 50s, 57, 58, on up into the 60s, it went to there was articles written about this hook. There was studies and hookup ratio studies done at the University of Alabama and at Auburn, and come to find out, the cam action was so positive on the hook sets that the Army actually put them in their survival kits. And True Turn hooks have a mil spec, and have had a mil spec since around the early 70s, mid 70s. So that gives people an idea of how great the hookup ratio is with a True Turn hook. Most people associate True Turn with panfish and crappie, but it's beyond that. There's good flipping hooks. There's great bass hooks. We got the blood red color. We got the great bronze color. We've got a blue black crappie panfish type hook. So we've got the spectrum covered. And one of the great things is was the introduction of our catfish line that went from basically a size 2 all the way up to a 9-aught. And that 9-aught is one of the most predominant hooks out in the in the rivers of Oregon, down the Columbia River, for sturgeon. We have people that use 9-aught true turns for sturgeon, 7 and 8 foot sturgeon. So that kind of gives you an idea of how good the cam action works on there.
So when did TTI start kind of umbrellaing and encompassing catfish, bass? Because it's now today it's more than just the hooks, your basic terminal tackle. You guys have a full line of stuff.
Well, yeah, we do. Well, like I said, True Turn has been around for over 60 years, and it's just a culmination of bringing out different types and styles of hooks. And when I say styles, I mean heavier wire, different types of points, knife points, forged points, big ring eyes for people that like to jug fish for catfish. Once all that came around back in 94, I think it was, or 95, the owner of the company, Wes Campbell, he went over to Japan and was looking at Daiichi and brought Daiichi back to North America. We have the North American rights to Daiichi. And we have 2 divisions in America. One's up in Elba, New York. That's the fly hook division of Daiichi, and we're the non-fly hook division of Daiichi. And then along those lines, that's where X-Point came into play. And then some other new stuff came into play, like our standout hook, which is a drop shot hook. And then, of course, we have Mr. Crappie and Team Catfish, too. So that's 6 brands of hooks, plus all the other RoadRunners and Blakemore Lure Company stuff. So we've got a lot of SKUs and a lot of presence in this industry. And we're happy with what we're doing. I mean, right now, even during the virus crisis, we were basically the only hook company that was open, which was kind of sad. But we are a small town. We don't have a whole lot of people here. Our facility is massive, and when you only put 16 or 18 people in this building, our social distancing is like 80 feet. So we were able to stay open and service our customers. And we're very, very loyal to our customers and pride ourselves on delivery and customer service.
Well, I know that COVID has brought out a whole new generation of people that are fishing. I live in Colorado, and they've issued 90,000 more fishing licenses this year than last year. At this point.
Yeah, that's true nationwide, and that's a great thing. It really is. It's sad that we have to have a crisis to increase our foothold in the industry with more anglers. But even in the South, right now, people have cabin fever, and they're grabbing their kids and their friends and family, and they're going fishing. And luckily, they're out there and enjoying themselves and seeing what fishing can do for children, especially. And we're big proponents of getting children out in the fishing world. One of our new president, she used to be the chairman of the Future Fisherman Foundation for 25 years. And we're really big into getting kids out fishing, helping wounded warriors, church events, raffles to help, St. Jude's or anything like that to do with children. Because if you think about it, they're the future of the sport. And if you don't introduce them early, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, years ago, there was a study done where children that fished before the age of 8 would stop fishing right around high school. And once they got out of high school and went to college, they would start fishing again and fish the rest of their lives. So once you make that initial impact, it's a huge deal, and that's something we're a big part of, and we're proud to do it too.
Well, I never stopped, that's for sure.
I haven't either.
So, and you know what? Panfish are such a great way to introduce new anglers. They're so easy to catch. They're so abundant.
Sure.
And they're a lot of fun, and that's kind of right up the TTI Blakemore alley.
Yes, it is. You're exactly right.
And speaking of Blakemore, talk about the evolution of the underspin jig, because until I started fishing for crappie, just probably about, I don't know, 6-7 years ago, I had never seen an underspin jig or used one.
Well,